Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Craft Order over here on YouTube, our own crazy little crafty corner of the universe. Today is something a little bit different. I have finished a kit and I just kind of wanted to go over how I save my records and like how I do my drills and just kind of chat with you while I empty out my storage because Lord knows I can't have unusable storage, right? So I do keep track of all of my spare drills. And the only reason I do that is because I also have like projects that I do myself. And I'm working on building kind of my own diamond painting. So I keep my spares out of my kits to just kind of have them and know what I have to work with. So I have on this I have this that has the color and the DMC code, and then the R is for round and the S is for square. And this is a template that I actually purchased from Diamond Painting Nerd, so shout out to her. Yeah, I love this little book. I printed it off and bound it up myself and made my own little logbook. So I have like what I'm working on, which none of this is up to date at this point. Finished projects. So I just started the logbook thing. So I only have two in here. I have this Dolphin Bay one, and then this is the one that I just finished, which is Ghost Stories. So I'm going to unkit this one, which is stored in this Elizabeth Ward container, plus a few extras, because I was actually using two containers. And then I am going to kit up a new one. And since I don't know which one I want to do, I have actually created a wheel with a few of them, and I'm gonna let the wheel pick for me because at this point it's kind of ridiculous to assume that I'm gonna get any Christmas kits done by Christmas, since it's like a month and a week away. Like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. I've just got so much on my plate that it's just not gonna happen. I am a little bit stuffy. My child got sick from school and brought it home and shared it with the rest of the family. So we've all been kind of fighting it. So sorry if I sound terrible. I did forget a pen and a marker. So I'm going to go grab those and I will be right back. Okay, and we are back. And I just started saving my spares too. So there's not a whole lot in here yet. But I am kind of keeping track of them because I have a couple of projects in mind that I want to like save as much as I can by using some drills that I already have. So the first thing I am going to do is mark off. This is a square kit and all the numbers are right here. So I'm just going to go through and mark off the colors that I am adding in my spare drills before I even go any farther. This is a really nice little logbook setup that she did. You can purchase it from Diamond Painting Nerd. I think it was on Etsy. But just look up Diamond Painting Nerd. She has a YouTube channel too. And she is, I believe, let's see, 3364 is the first one I'm marking off. And I don't actually have that one, so that's going to be a new slot for me. So we've got that one. I've got things crammed in here so tight I can't even get to them. I know I have 310 already. So I think she's, yeah. So I'm just going to add those to what I already have. 327. Lots of new ones in this one because I don't have a lot of these. So that's going to be fun. And then my ABs, I just kind of, I'm not really sure how to do the ABs because they don't really have like a real number. Like every kit does them differently. So I'm just going to make a baggie and I'm going to add it to my list down here. And I'm going to say DAC because it's a Diamond Art Club kit, and we're going to go 101. And I'll know because it's a DAC, because with Diamond Art Club, anything below the number 150 is an AB. So I'm going to put DAC 101 on there. Just to kind of have a complete record there. So anyway, oh, and I already have 740, so that's going to get added. Let's see, 742 is just going to get added. 741 get added. 919 is going to be new. 726 is also going to be new. 797 is going to be new in the square. I have it in round, but not in the square. What do I keep trying to say? Okay, so this gal, I believe she's UK. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe she's UK. So any of the prices are listed in pound. So, and let me show you what I mean by that. So let's see, skip back to here. Okay, so right in here, she's got like purchase, where you purchased it, when you purchased it, when you received it, what the price was, and see, it's all the dollar amounts are in pounds, and I just ignore the pound sign and just go with USD because that is where I am, is in the US. So I just kind of ignore that part, and I am going to be adding lots of new colors today because there's a lot of these that I don't have in the square 3363. But it's really nice because all of the DMCs are listed in numerical order in her sheet. And it's got the little color code box, so you kind of know what color it is. And again, this is another AB, which we don't have a spot for, so I'm going to put DAC 108. And then as I add to this collection, I'll just print off some more of like these. I'll probably just print off like more of this page and just ignore the color. And then add it to it. I bound this myself, and I just used one of those, what are these called? I'm not really sure. But the kind where you just have the little plastic, and so you punch the holes out, and I have a little machine that does it for me. Well, it kind of does it for me. I think it's broken because it's not actually working the way it's supposed to. Because it should just be like, put my pages in, pull the trigger, and it opens everything, and then let it go, and it closes everything. But it doesn't actually do that. Like, I have to actually sit there and pry each one of these little plastic bits apart, so it's kind of a pain in the butt. Like, not gonna lie, I'm not real... There is lots of new colors in this. I'm gonna need lots of baggies this time around. I don't usually have, well, again, I just started doing this, so that's why there's so many new colors, and I keep all of my spares in this binder, and I will show you that in just a minute. That's 3325. And then because I just started doing this, because I just came up with the idea of these couple of different projects that I want to do, 325, there it is. I have to reorganize this once in a while because I haven't like just put like 400 slots in there. Well, actually 800 because it would be, well, let's see, there's like, what is it, 470 something colors in drills, and that is for, and then you have to double that because it's the round has the same amount as the square, and I'm kind of keeping both. So I work mostly with square. That's kind of what I prefer. What number is this? 3854. I actually don't have a lot of round kits. That's 920. Because I actually do prefer the square. So I will probably build up the square way quicker, which is exactly what I want. Like, I have a couple of projects in mind where I am going to actually attempt to make my own diamond painting. Sounds very ambitious, I know. But I researched this method of like, I'm so sorry, I got the sniffles. I researched this method of printing out a symbol grid, like a pattern onto like transparents, and then laying some glue down on it, and then you have your own diamond painting basically. And I really kind of want to give that a try. Like, I have, oops, one of my many hobbies that I have is, you know, I should actually just put these in the box because this is getting dangerously ridiculous. So let's just put these back over here. Maybe not all of them, but at least to keep them from falling on the ground like that one just did, would be really smart, right? So let's do that. So one of my many hobbies is actually, what do you call it, with the thread and the needle and the canvas, cross stitch. So I have quite a few cross stitch patterns, and I actually want to do my own cross stitch conversion, but like print it on my own canvas, because I have priced these, right? And like, it would cost me, and I mean, it's not going to be cheap either way, but it's basically going to cost me like 300 or so for like one kit. But that kit's going to be taller and bigger than me. Like, it's a huge project. And to order a canvas that is that size, that's just a blank canvas, is really expensive. I mean, it's not cheap. Okay, so this is another AB. So we're going to go DAC 129. It's not going to be cheap no matter what I do. Like, I priced it to have somebody else do it, and it's still going to cost me like roughly $200 to have somebody else do it. And it's not going to be, I mean, it wouldn't be bad quality. It's just, it's not going to be the same. It won't be the same size. It'll be smaller. So I kind of want to experiment and do it myself. So this is a big reason why I am saving all of my drills, because the biggest expense to it is actually going to be the drills. The drills are not going to be cheap for this project that I have in mind. And it's a monster project. I mean, this is something that we're talking, it'll probably take me at least, you know, 5 or 6 years to complete, and that's if I just work on that. So it's going to be a long-term project, which is partly why I want to try to make it myself and try this method out, because I should be able to theoretically break it into like 8x10 sheets. Again, theoretically, I'm not 100% sure how it's going to go, and I'm probably going to try out a smaller pattern just to see like how it's going to work on a large scale. And when I try this, I mean, if you're interested, I will post it. I did find this method on YouTube, and I don't remember who came up with it, but it was some gal that I watched, and then she like hasn't posted anything for years. So I actually don't even know if it's actually going to work or not, or how to join them. So that's all stuff I'm going to have to like play with. 3, 8, 6, 5. Oh man, that's a square, not a round. I'm going to have to white out that later. I don't have my whiteout with me, so I can't do it here. I just checked the round box when it's actually a square. Which is kind of a bummer, so I'm just gonna have to white that out. That's fine. So it'll be interesting, right? Like, it'll be kind of an experiment. And I'm curious to see how it's gonna work. And if it does work, that'll be something cool. Like, and the more of, so, okay, so I ran out of room down here. Whoops. I also forgot to mark those. So I'm going to move to this next column and go DAC 126. And it is a square. Oh man, sniffles. I'm so sorry. Like, holy cow, I am definitely plugged up. I think my fever broke, which is good. It hasn't been fun this last week in my house. So my kids are really young, and anybody with young kids will tell you that, like, when they're sick, like, they are... It's like living with an octopus. Like, I love them so much, but it is really... It's really difficult sometimes because, like, all they want to do is cling on to you as tightly as possible. And it can get very frustrating. I'm single mom, so, like, it's... All they have is me, and they get super clingy when they're sick. So it's not really that fun. To have them be sick. Okay, so now that I've marked all my drills, I gotta take a drink. Sorry. I am going to separate them, and again, I don't have a spot for everything yet. So oh, I forgot my labels. Okay, I'm going to go grab my labels because that's going to bother me if I don't have them. So I will be right back. Okay, and we are back. And I have my little labels now. And these are just the cheap little rectangle labels. But I use them to label the outsides of my bags, as you can see here. So I have all of my, let's see if you can kind of see that. So I have all my drills in these little they're like for baseball card holders, and I do go through here once in a while and put them in numerical order, but for the most part, like, I just kind of find a page and stuff them in, and then when I get too many randoms, then I just kind of try to put them back into some kind of an order. And I keep the, which obviously I haven't done for a bit because, like, there's 413 next to 915. Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? And I have separate sections for, like, the AB drills. And then I have a separate section for the rounds. So I keep the rounds separate, the AB rounds separate. and then I just label them with what color they are. So the first thing I'm going to do is, because I used a blue pen on this one, this is going to be really easy for me to tell which ones are new. I'm just going to kind of go through this and say, well, I can't really do that. So, sorry, scratch that part. Let's see here. How am I going to do this in a way that you can see? Okay. Because my goal is to try not to like make multiple bags unless I have to. If it's close enough to match, then it's going to go in the same containers that I already have. So it would probably help if I was in numerical order at this point, but it's been a bit since I've organized it, so we're just going to go for it. I know I have 741 right here. And it's really nice to have these little card things. And when they get to be, and those are a pretty close match. So I'm going to go ahead and dump, even though they're different companies, like, well, I don't know. There is a little bit of a shade difference there. It's probably not catching on camera, but in person, I can see a shade difference. So I'm actually going to make a new bag for that. The ones that are in here, I think these might be from a Dreamer Designs kit. I'm pretty sure. And then these ones are a Diamond Art Club kit, so there is going to be a little bit of difference here and there. And the easiest thing that I have found to do is to use my tray. And they actually, the people that make these trays, it's Bella Art de Nicole. I almost said Bella Art Diamonds. They do have a diamond painting shop, but it's Bella Art de Nicole that does the trays. And what they also make funnels. And I'm really seriously contemplating getting one of those hands-free funnels that holds the baggies, because I have a feeling that like that would make this so much quicker. But I just empty my container into my bigger tray and just kind of make sure it's all out of there, any trash pieces and everything, because those can all be separated out later. And then get the label off. And the DAC, oh no, I'm just going to make a little pile of paper labels over there. These DAC stickers are really nice. They come off really easily off of these Elizabeth Ward containers. Like I've had, ooh, this lid is a little bit stiff. Yeah, a little bit stiff there. But their trays have these nice little stoppers, so it makes it kind of nice to just be able to like dump right into that baggie there without too much spillage, hopefully. But they do have these nice little funnels that like hold the bag open for you, and it makes it all a hands-free affair. Ooh. And then hopefully you don't have that happen. I think there's some in my carpet now. That's okay. It's fine. It's all good, right? No problem. And then since I already have a slot for these, I'm going to stick these ones in that same slot. I'm not going to mix them together. And maybe it's a little more obvious in the bags, but there is a slight shade variation there. I think that if I had enough of them and just kind of mix them all up, it probably wouldn't make too much difference. But right now, because I'm just starting out, it's going to bother me if they're put together, so I won't do that. And I totally lost my train of thought there. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so they have these I'm gonna do this AB that's right in front of me because I know I don't have that one yet. They make these funnels that are like hands-free for bags, and they hold the bag open, and then you can just pour. Ow! Oh, you can pour from the tray directly into the bag using the funnel, and it kind of makes it nicer. So I broke my nail today, and I'm still getting used to like actually having nails again because it's been a long time. I had them done for Halloween, and I'm kind of trying to like keep them. And today I smashed the crap out of my thumb and chipped the corner of my nail off, and that side of my thumb like really does not feel very good right now. It kind of hurts actually. I'm noticing that as I'm doing this, that yeah, that's a little bit tender. And then so since I have a separate area, like a whole separate page for the ABs, I am going to stick these right back here. So any special drills that I get, that's where I go. And these pages, these baseball pages, they're like super cheap. They I get them at Walmart. And you probably don't want to watch me peel the labels off of all of these, but you can tell those come up really good even when they tear. And there's not really, I mean, that one has a little bit of a sticky residue, but I'll just go I'll go behind these and take a Q-tip and soak it in some, what you call it? Blah, blah, blah. Why is my brain malfunctioning so bad today? Probably because I'm sick, right? But now I just completely lost my train of thought. Oh my goodness. Okay, so sticky bits, right? If there's any residue left on my container, I will actually, okay, so this is one that I don't have. I will actually go through and use a Q-tip soaked in alcohol, rubbing alcohol. Not like vodka or anything, but like rubbing alcohol. I mean, I guess vodka would work too, actually. Waste of good vodka though, right? Not that I drink it much these days, but still. Take a Q-tip soaked in rubbing alcohol and wipe off any of that leftover residue to just kind of clean it up. And, you know, if I make a mistake and I accidentally do one of these baggies up, and then later on when I'm actually organizing this and I see it, you know, I'll fix it then. But pretty basically, I think a lot of these are going to be new. And I'm not going to sit here and peel off all the labels and make you watch me do that. Like, that would be boring. But this just kind of gives you an idea of how I like to kit down and how to store drills if you're interested in doing that for like a spare storage thing. And again, it helps if you keep it in numerical order. But again, you know, just starting out this, so it's kind of clustered at the moment. It will get fixed. It has to get fixed because it'll drive me insane. But for now, as I am building it, I'm just kind of, it's kind of hectic. Everything's out of order. I'll fix it. I've fixed it like twice already, and then I keep adding. So then it gets all wacky again. And then I have some blank pages to add to this too. Eventually I'm gonna need over 800 or over, like, let's see, I think it's 477 colors. So times that by 2, that would be, let's see, 540, 554. Did I do that right? No. Sorry, 954. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I think that's right. Like 477 times 2, I think that's 954. So eventually, yeah, I am gonna need to, like, add a lot more to this. And one of the things that I noticed is, like, when they get super heavy, they kind of like to try to slide out the top, and I did see a little hack to fix that. I just haven't done it yet, but if you take those little Velcro dots and you put one on this front side of the card and then this back side of the card, and then it'll Velcro closed and keep your baggie in there. I've seen that done, and I'm probably going to do that, honestly, because it does kind of bother me when they, like, try to slide out the top. Like, that's rather annoying. It does bother me there. Okay, so this is a perfect example of why you have to check colors. Like, those are obviously different dye lots. So this one's kind of more goldy and this one's kind of more orangey, and they're both 742. So this is why I don't automatically mix anything. I do kind of try to match shades first, and then as I get more that are orangey, I'll put those in there, and more that are like the yellowy ones, I'll put those in a baggie. So I do kind of, if it's a really big drastic color difference like that, I do separate them. But I mean, they can sit in the same slot, it's fine. And I mean, I guess theoretically you could keep your dryer sheets. If you use dryer sheets for static, I guess you could keep those in the drills. And I don't know why I'm doing this without the lid on. This seems really dangerous to me, since I'm a little bit klutzy. Wow, it actually worked. I'm slightly klutzy, so I tend to like to keep my lids on. I lost my train of thought again. You know, I think you kind of get the basic idea though, right? Like, I'm not gonna film this whole kit down process because this is a lot. And I have no idea what my time is already, and especially since it's out of order, and I seem to be missing a baggie here. I don't know what happened there, but I seem to be missing a baggie there. Did I move something? Am I going crazy? Or maybe I just didn't notice that it was empty because everything's so crowded in there. See, this is why it's important to stay organized, people. Like, do better than me. For your own sake and your own sanity, please do yourself a favor and organize this. I really do need to organize this because this is kind of difficult to go through and kit down when you really can't even see anything or where anything is. And see, like, there's another spot where I'm missing a whole baggie. Like, did I leave that blank on purpose? Was there a thought to that, or did I just, like, go blind or something? I don't really know. Okay, so this 921, This one's a little bit darker, but there's so few in here that I don't think it matters. I think I'm just gonna dump them in here because once they're all mixed up, you're not really gonna be able to tell. Because, I mean, that's like, what, 12? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Okay, so like 22. There's like 22 drills in here that'll be slightly different than these ones. So I'm just going to mix these together. Because honestly, it doesn't make much sense to do a whole nother baggie when this one only has a few in it. So yeah, I am going to continue with this. Man, I really do think I'm going to invest in that little baggie holder because these trays make it really nice. These trays do make it really nice, but I feel like the little baggie holder would just be so much safer for me because I am seriously klutzy. Like, I can't even tell you how many bones I've broken in my life just from, like, just walking. I actually did once, funny story, in 5th grade. I spent my entire 5th grade year on crutches. And see, there's enough of a color difference there that needs a second back too. I spent my entire 5th grade year on crutches because I broke my ankle on 3 separate occasions in the exact same place. And one of the times that I broke my ankle, I was walking down a hill. That's it. Just walking down the hill. Like, I'm not doing anything stupid. I didn't step in anything. I wasn't running. I was literally walking down the hill. And I pulled my Achilles tendon. I tore a ligament and I broke my bone. In the same exact place. And usually, like, when a bone breaks, it actually, supposedly grows back stronger. But, I broke my ankle 3 times in the exact same place. And even though it was supposed to be stronger, yeah, somehow I still managed to do that. I am just super, super klutzy and always have been. So I feel like, I should be using a lid to do this, and I keep saying that, and somehow I keep forgetting to do that because I just dumped a drill down on the floor somewhere. It's okay. My vacuum will have glitter in it. It's fine. It'll be sparkly when I dump it out. It's fine. It's no big deal. And I probably should have wrote on the label first because now it's going to be all funky. There we go. Yeah, so like super klutzy. So I kind of feel like the little hands-free baggie holder would be a really smart idea for me. I think I just... Oh yeah, those are definitely close enough. They can go in the same bag. I think I just heard my kid hit the wall. So both my kids are really klutzy too. And it kind of has me worried because I spent a lot of time in the ER as a child. My first broken bone, I think I was 5. I was like 4 or 5 the very first time I broke a bone. And my oldest is approaching their 4th birthday. And very klutzy child. Very, very klutzy child. Just like her mother. So I'm a little nervous about that. Like, to be honest. Slightly nervous, yeah. Because, you know, like, they say it comes back like tenfold when you're a parent, right? And, oh my goodness. I don't know that I can afford that. I know my parents definitely were fed up with it. And I have a feeling that the same is going to be true for me. Hopefully not. Hopefully she has stronger bones or better whatever than I did. I don't know what it was. Oh, I think I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, I did not mean to do that. So on that note, I think I am going to go because I think you kind of get the idea of what it is that I do. And when I start my giant project, I will let you know. But this is a good way to just kind of make sure that you always have spares on hand and that you're not going to run out of anything. And it's always nice, like, if somebody else runs out, to be able to go, oh yeah, I got that. I got it in this color and this shape, you know. Help each other out, because that's what we're here to do, right? I think they're kicking the wall. Like, it's getting pretty loud in there. I think I need to go check on that. I went in there, like, I put them to bed, and then I went in there before I started filming to kind of check on them, because it sounded like my youngest was choking, and she wasn't. No, instead what she was doing was drinking her water and spitting it out all over herself and her sister and her bed. So that was fun. I'm sure you can tell from my sarcasm that I was not thrilled about that. She was just spitting water out. Just all over the place with, never you mind, just spitting water out everywhere. So I had to strip the bed. And then, you know what? These ones are kind of slightly different. So I think I'm going to put those in their own baggie. Because they're just slightly different. The dye lots can be a little bit different. That's, you know, something to remember with these. So if you do happen to run out of drills, and you're looking for, a specific type or dye lot, a lot of times people separate by kit style too. So they'll have new Dreamer designs, an old Dreamer designs, a DAC, a new DAC in their stash when they label them. So if there's something in particular, if you know what brand it is when you reach out to somebody, chances are you might even be able to get the same dye lot, because a lot of times they are just slightly different, and it doesn't make too much difference as long as it's only a little bit that you're replacing in a picture. But if it's a lot in a picture, you might want to like specify that, hey, it came out of this kit by DAC, or it came out of this kit by Dreamer Designs, or you know, whatever it is. Do you happen to have the same one and have extra drills? That can be helpful if you're reaching out to the community to see if people have extra drills for you. It can be kind of helpful. And you might get the same dye lot if you do that. So I am going to finish this up, and I will let you go, and I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. I will be seeing you shortly, because right after this, I am going to spin the wheel and see what it lands on and kit up my next kit, because like we cannot have empty storage, right? Like we just can't do that. having empty storage is a no-go. It doesn't matter that I already have, you know, what is it, 6 others at this point? No, it's 5 others, I think, at this point that I'm working on. I just can't have empty storage, because if I have empty storage, you know, then that's just wasted space to me. But that's just how my brain works. Yeah, I think she's kicking the wall. Okay, so I really am going to go, because I need to go make sure that she's not putting a hole in the wall or hurting herself, and that she actually goes to sleep. Like, they really need to go to sleep. They've been sick, and it's no fun. So they need some sleep. So Mama's got to go do some mama duties. I hope this helps anybody that's like trying to figure out how to store their drills. This is how I do it. And again, I am going to take these and put little Velcro dots on the front and back sides of these pockets so that they kind of snap close over the baggies, just to kind of keep them in there so they don't slide out as much. But it's just a cheap 3-ring binder that, oh, see, like that. Like, it would be very helpful to have a little Velcro on there to make sure that that doesn't happen. Yeah, I do need to invest in some little Velcro dots. That's next on my list. But this was literally like the cheapest binder that I could possibly find at Walmart that zipped closed so that little fingers couldn't get in as easily. And then these are just baseball card holders. And I think these are like $1 for a 10-pack or something. They're super cheap. They're like 97 cents or something. Super cheap for like a 10-pack. So that's how I do it. And when I do actually put these to use, you will get to see that. So I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season, and I will see you shortly when I start to kit up the next project. So have fun, stay safe, be cool, be kind, peace out.